Hello, my name is Miruna Gerasimo, and today we're going to talk about the implementation of CRM at HEC Montreal. So, what benefits with the first question would be what benefits with the implementation of CRM bring to HEC Montreal? So, the first one that I thought of was keeping track of every information because they wanted students to be aware of the students who graduated and the possible students that would apply in the future. Enhanced communication. Uh, they would want students to communicate with each other um, in order to form a relationship for a better and improved future in the field that they work in, and personalized experience. Okay, so we need to see the advantages and disadvantages for plan driven and agile. So plan driven, the advantages would be security and privacy because it's more secured to have a plan driven software. Integration of technology, planned budget. You cannot go over the budget because you have a plan and you need to keep the expectations as promised on the first hand. And no scope creep, so no changing requirements. And on the other hand, Agile can change requirements, has more privacy, uh, and it's open. It has open and accessible communication because it's placed in the company and because it has more people working from the inside of the company, so inside of HEC Montreal. Disadvantages would be the lack of tech experts and fixed requirements. And fixed requirements because you cannot change the needs that you've talked about with the developers. On the other hand, Agile can lead to insufficient funds and security leakage and scope creep because of its changing environment. So if the requirements change, you can go over the budget and have no money for any kind of done. Now, software as a service and on premises. Well, the biggest difference between SaaS and on premises solutions for software is that SaaS solutions are hosted and maintained by third party provider, while on premise solutions are hosted in house. SaaS has fast implementation. So once the company has settled on the SaaS solution, the implementation process is straightforward. Uh, since the service is available fast through the internet, users, so clients can start right away. So the school could use the software very fast. On the other hand, compared to SaaS, the on-premise implementation is a much longer process that needs more time in terms of planning, but also execution. This is due to the hardware. Tech Montreal would need to procure to host software in-house, uh, but this offers more control. So it also means much less flexibility when it comes to access. So the application, so uh, CRM cannot be accessed off company grounds, so off HEC Montreal. so only in the company. Uh, and SaaS has more accessibility, low entry cost. So one of the main selling points of SaaS is the low entry cost, since the university is renting a service that is subscription based. There is no need to spend a large sum upfront. Well, the monthly fees are paid or annual. They can be paid. The fees can be paid monthly or annually. Uh, Even though this is a great way to keep costs low, unused licenses can increase cloud spend. But traditional on-premise solutions are quite costly, and we find this on the disadvantages of on-premises software. Um, so, let's talk about maintenance. So, uh, HEC Montreal wouldn't be in charge in charge of app maintenance or support, but HEC Montreal cannot depend entirely on CRM software. On the other hand, on premises, even if it's a lot of responsibility, there is more control over data versus the software as a service. Another benefit that SaaS has to offer is the fact that the software is easy to scale. Uh, it depends on HEC Montreal needs. So it can allow you to upscale and add additional licenses or servers or anything that students would need. But on premises are much more difficult. This we will find in disadvantages. So on premises are much more difficult to scale. Um, because it needs to be prepared for much longer. It needs to be prepared for much longer planning process, um, and it slows down the process. Another advantage would be quick customizable product. So upgrades are an easy thing to do when you rely on SaaS. Depending on CRM, there is also a certain level of customization uh, that HEC Montreal would take advantage of. On premises, uh, well, it takes more time and more planning and bigger upfront investment. Uh, it has much less flexibility, so no changing requirements, and that's a very hard thing to do with students because students' needs are changing throughout the years. So let's go through the advantages again. So SaaS, it has fast implementation, more accessibility, low entry cost. It's easier to scale and quick customizable product. And let's go to disadvantages. It has lower security, so it can leak more information throughout the years of usage, and it needs more work to customize the product because it's an off-shelf product. On premises, HEC Montreal would have more overall control. Uh, it has more recovery and responsibility and has unique customization because it's built up from zero. But it takes longer to implement. It has less flexibility. upgrades cost much more than SaaS and it's difficult to scale. My three takeaways would be analyze the people you want to work with. So HEC Montreal would need to settle on a group of developers and a group of students to test the software that they want to implement. Second would be understand and take into consideration all the advantages and disadvantages because you need to decide between software as a service and on-premises software and take some risks for bigger achievements. Advantages would mean a much bigger achievement. In my opinion, HEC did a really good thing to risk to use software as a service, but they did get a bigger achievement than they would have gotten after the usage of on-premises. Thank you so much.